When a crisis hits, getting the right answers fast isn't just a nice to have. It can literally be a matter of life and death. But what happens when those answers are completely locked away, just out of reach?
Okay, so picture this. A global health crisis is exploding. Leaders have to act, like, right now. But what if the science they need, the actual proof to make the right call, is stuck in some process that takes a year and a half? It sounds crazy, right? But this is a very, very real problem.
And this is the exact situation leaders find themselves in way too often. They're forced to make these massive, critical decisions completely in the dark.
See, the knowledge, it's out there. It exists, but it's not in one neat place. It's scattered across thousands, literally thousands, of different academic papers. Each one is like a single piece of a giant puzzle. And when you're on a deadline that's measured in days, not years, all that scattered knowledge might as well not even exist.
So what's causing this crazy delay? Well, let's dig into the process itself, because it creates this massive bottleneck right when we need information to be flowing the fastest.
The official name for this process is evidence synthesis, and it's considered the gold standard for good reason. It's how scientists are supposed to do it, rigorously gathering every single piece of research on one specific question, checking it for quality, and then combining it all into one single trustworthy answer. It's designed to give us clarity.
But here's the kicker, the huge irony. The very process that's designed to give us the truth is actually the biggest obstacle in our way. It's unbelievably thorough, which is great, but that also makes it unbelievably slow and just wildly expensive.
And just look at the scale of this problem. A traditional review? We're talking 6 to 18 months. And the cost? It can be over $200,000. Now look at the alternative. We're talking days, and for a fraction of the cost. This isn't just a small improvement. It's a complete game changer.
So here's the bottom line. For the kind of crises we face today, the old way is just, well, it's broken. The timelines are way too slow for urgent decisions. The costs are so high that most organizations can't even think about it. All that vital knowledge stays trapped behind academic paywalls and jargon, and you practically need a small army of specialists just to get started.
Okay, so how in the world do you fix a bottleneck this big? You can't just try to make the old way a little bit faster. You have to completely rethink the whole workflow. And that's where this new approach, AI-powered but always human-verified, changes everything.
So let's talk about the solution. It's a platform called Quicklens, and it's built on a really simple but really powerful idea. Let's combine what AI does best, which is crunching massive amounts of data at lightning speed, with what we humans do best, critical thinking, validation, and expert oversight. So here's a quick look at how it actually works. First, you start by defining your question. What do you need to know? Then the AI does all the heavy lifting, screening thousands of papers in minutes. But, and this is key, human reviewers then validate the AI's work. After that, the platform automatically pulls out the key data points and generates a report that's totally transparent and easy to understand. What used to be months of painful manual labor now becomes just a few streamlined steps.
This right here, this is the core philosophy. It always starts with a human's intent, a researcher asking a really important question. Then AI comes in to augment their abilities, not replace them. And the final output? It's always validated by a human expert. So the human is always in the driver's seat. The AI is just the most powerful assistant you could ever imagine.
And this is so important. Especially in fields like public health or policy, you can't just trust a black box AI where you don't know how it got the answer. With this system, every single step the AI takes is tracked. Every decision it assists with is explainable. The whole process is auditable. That's how you build real trust in the technology.
And what are the results of all this? Well, how about a 90% reduction in time? 90%. Something that took a year can now be done in a few weeks. Something that took a month might now just take a few days. Just think about what that means in the middle of an emergency response.
And it's not just about speed, it's also about 80% cheaper. This is huge because it completely removes that massive financial wall that has kept this kind of rigorous evidence out of reach for so many groups.
So, okay, when you combine that kind of incredible speed with that kind of affordability, what does it really mean for the future? Well, it fundamentally changes how we access and use knowledge itself.
Ultimately, what this is all about is bridging that giant gap between academic research and real-world action. It's about taking all that scattered, locked-away knowledge and turning it into something clear,
concise, and ready for a decision maker to actually use.
And the potential here is just incredibly broad. This isn't just for, say, health organizations. We're talking about any group that has to make high-stakes decisions based on solid evidence, from government agencies and research teams to private sector innovators. The list just goes on and on.
But maybe the most powerful impact is how this empowers organizations from the inside. It's not just about saving a ton of money on consultants. It's about building this capability in-house. This truly democratizes the whole process. It levels the playing field. All of a sudden, smaller research teams or local public agencies can access the same high-quality evidence as a massive institution. It means any team can become experts in making evidence-based decisions.
And that really leaves us with a pretty incredible final thought. What happens when the friction, the time, and the cost between asking a question and getting a trustworthy, evidence-backed answer pretty much disappears? When we can find real answers at the speed of our curiosity, what are the next big problems we're going to solve?